Yeah, you did. Check on the signs. Advertisement signs.
Man, that LED sign really sucks in the middle of the night coming into town. I'm telling you.
I hate
It
LED
is
signs.
so bright, you can't see nothing.
Oh, I dimmed it as far as it goes, like 3 days.
Have
still
you had
terrible.
your
Oh,
eyes,
well.
like, you should
Well, it's
check
a light.
into seeing if your retina is really thin. This is like the answer to all my
No,
prayers.
that-
was discovering. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
That sign, you're
Mhm.
live.
I have a really difficult time with the LED lights, like to the point that I just pull over when I see the white dot clouds, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna wreck. if I don't. Well, thank you, Chris. Mr. Stetler, Ms. Hardkey, thank you for putting your names forward for Shoshone Town Council. We have some council debate rules and procedures and some questions for each of you. Are you familiar with the rules, or would you like us to go through those?
I'm not familiar.
Okay, you want me to read them or you want to
Go
read them?
ahead. I don't have a copy. Oh, yeah, yes.
Moderators will acknowledge a candidate. Timer will begin upon being acknowledged. Please do not interject or speak until acknowledged by the moderators. Moderators will ask a question to a specific candidate who will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer. If any other candidate would like to respond to the question asked or to the answer provided, they shall raise their hand and upon being acknowledged will have 45 seconds to speak. The candidate who was initially asked the question will then have 30 seconds to respond. No further back and forth will be permitted. Moderator may ask a follow-up question for clarification based upon answers provided by any of the candidates. However, no back and forth will be permitted on that. Moderator will signal with a 15-second notice prior to the expiration of allotted time. The opening will be 10 minutes. Each candidate will receive 3 minutes to provide an opening statement. The topic questions will last 45 minutes. Moderators will ask each candidate 1 question per topic. Each candidate will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer. 45 seconds will be allotted another candidate to respond to the question or answer provided. The original candidate will receive 30 seconds to provide any rebuttal. And then the closing will be 5 minutes. Each candidate will receive 1 minute and 30 seconds to make any closing statements. Are you ready? Very good. Mr. Pennington,
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
let you ask the first question.
All right. This first question goes to Tammy Hartkey. Is that how you say it? Hartkey?
Yes.
What do you believe the responsibilities of a council person are on council?
Well, we help the mayor try to make decisions, figure out the rules and the laws. We're trying to help the town move forward. We're trying to listen to the people, their complaints and their wants. I'm kind of new to this.
It's okay.
But I really feel it's helping the town, we need to help the town move forward as part of that job.
Got a rebut?
Well, if
may.
I'm not gonna get asked that same question, I guess I'll rebut.
Okay.
I think somebody asked me, I said, well, what's your job as a councilman? I said, well, for control the mayor. Really, I mean, he comes up with these ideas, you either approve it or not. You have to help guide the town in the direction they want to go. You control the funding is the biggest thing. Keep things in check and try to listen to people and do what they want.
I have to get my timers straightened out and figure out how much is each for each of you. So. Did you want to rebut that at all?
No.
Okay. I'd like to ask a follow-up question to each of you on that. You've stated what you believe the responsibilities of the council are. So what drove you to seek the position knowing those responsibilities? And we'll start with you, Tammy, since you were the first one on the questions.
I just seen some things that I didn't like when I'd been watching the council. So I thought better yet was to come out here and let my voice be known. Either way, good or bad.
Very good. Go ahead.
Well, I kind of, like the mayor had said earlier, I didn't completely understand what I was getting into when I got into it a few years ago. And then I feel like I did some really good things and I did not get a chance to complete them due to, I guess, poor campaigning apparently. And so I decided, I got written in the primary, so I accepted that as an opportunity to try to finish some of the projects that I helped start. The westward expansion, maybe there's more to it than I don't see, but it kind of seems like it's going a little slow. Maybe that's what it needs to do. Not saying one way or the other, but if I'm more involved, then I would understand why it seems to be going so slow. For one, there's a lot of unfinished projects in this town through different administrations for all the years. And if I don't at least try to go back in and finish what I helped start, then I feel like I'm letting down the community.
Very good. Thank you. Your turn.
Okay. Mr. Stetler, how will you balance friendship and allegiances which might be in conflict with the best interests of Shoshoni?
Well, you just got to do what's right. And I tried to do that. I would consider the mayor a friend of mine. And when we were in the governing body before, I did go against him and I demanded explanation from him. And I busted his chops when I felt they needed. I agreed with him when I felt he was right. And I voted against him when I felt he was wrong. But I did it respectfully. And I think that's what you need to do. You argue with your friends. I think Tammy's doing a great job. I disagree with some of the things she's done on the council, but I understand why she did that, and that's fine. And I have no problem if we happen to get elected going against her respectfully on things I disagree with, and her coming after me respectfully with different, that's fine. And then we'll shake hands and hug or whatever and still be friends. We just need to differentiate that. This is what we do because this is what's right. Be respectful about it and go about your lives.
Ms. Hartley, would you like to?
I agree with it.
We're on Tammy then. Tammy, what do you believe is the greatest issue facing Shoshone currently?
Housing.
And how will you approach fixing this issue?
We're working with an economical development right now. We're trying to get this land set together outside of town and some inside town. And the council's been working on that. And hopefully that starts moving along because housing is needed.
Very good. Did you want to rebut that?
No, there's not really much to add to that. Well, yeah, I guess I do.
Make my 45-second timer up here. Go ahead.
I would agree that housing's huge. Expanding the town, growing it. They just annexed in 40 acres or whatever it is, which part of that I was able to purchase, which we're currently on. Growing the town with housing is huge. I think one of the biggest holdbacks of the town is people's attitudes. I had a couple of years to rethink on mine and kind of redirect on where I went wrong. People need to work together more and quit being angry. Listen more than talk and get along, work together.
Thank you. Did you want to rebut that?
Yep, I'm good with that.
Mr. Stetler, what do you believe should be the focus of the next governing body for Shoshone for the next 4 years? The next focus for the governing body?
My biggest focus would be to finish the stuff we started. We started with the some of the they called it low income housing. That made everybody, a lot of people got uncomfortable when you said that, so we changed it to senior housing or something. I don't remember how we had to word it because everybody got upset that we're looking at low income housing. That's like $60,000 a year. That's not, to me, that's not low income, but that's where. So we need to continue with the housing projects we started. We started on the water studies. We started on the westward expansion. Those are things that I helped, and that's where the focus needs to be, is finishing.
I agree, finishing the projects that's been started. It's a really big thing.
Can I rebut that? And you helped start quite a bit too, so I think that it's important that you get reelected to continue the work that you've done, by the way.
Right.
I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you.
Sorry to be rebutting her rebuttal.
No. We're on Jake. What is your philosophy of government's role in business activity?
I feel that as a the government here, we need to help businesses get started. Try to make it where they can work in here and move in, because it's a win-win all around for all of us. Whatever, as long as that we can make it work and afford to make it work, I think that's what we need to do.
The second part of this question is, should government utilize taxpayer resources to help promote business growth?
I don't know really how to answer that.
Well, how about we direct that to you, Mr. Stettler?
The second question or the first one?
Both, but we'll reverse the order. Should government utilize taxpayer resources to help promote business growth? And then what is your philosophy?
I think that taxpayer funds need to be used to benefit the community as a whole, the majority. So if using some taxpayer funds, directing it towards doing something, infrastructure, something otherwise helps to help a business, will help the community as a whole, the majority of the population, then that's a wise use of resources. But if it's going to help out the owner or these few people over there, then maybe that's not proper. It's the majority of people's money, so it should be spent on the majority of people. However, any way you can find it would best serve them. And as far as the business, government's role in business, am I done then? It's
Go
a
ahead
two-part
and finish
question.
It is. Go ahead.
It
I'll
should
allow
be minimal, but as needed. I mean, like when Fastlane with the remodel, they needed the town. Okay, we had to do the permits, or yes, we can abandon that alleyway. Yes, we can do that. So there is a role for government in business, but it should be limited.
Thank you.
Mr. Stetler, this is a two-part question as well. How will you ensure all viewpoints are considered on matters facing the governing body?
Right, can you start that again?
How will you ensure all viewpoints are considered on matters facing the governing body?
And the other part?
The other part is, what is your belief on citizens' viewpoints versus decisions made by the governing body?
Well, I think that I don't know what more we can do, right? So, and we got everything on Zoom, we got everything on YouTube, and we beg for input. All we can do is listen. And if nobody wants to speak up, I don't know. I don't know what can be done. We can ask, and we do that, or I have done that in the past. That's all you can do. And I think people need to, if you want your opinion to matter, you should let it be known. Open up venues and listen and be respectful to all opinions. And the biggest difference between everyone's viewpoint and the governing body's decisions is the governing body's decisions are final. It's all on video. Everything that happens during these meetings is forever on the internet, but it's final. If it's going to be reversed, it has to be reversed by the governing body. And people's viewpoints are people's viewpoints. They need to be the guide, but they're not the rule. The decision made by the 5 is the rule.
I do think that we need to listen to the citizens before we do make choices, but they have to come to us instead of complaining later. They need to be here for these meetings.
You can't argue with that?
No,
I can't either. Tammy, what priorities of the current governing body do you believe need to be reconsidered, changed, or focused on during the next 4 years?
I think that we really need to focus on the town for businesses, for employment, and housing. And I feel that we need to find things for our kids, so our kids, you know, different, maybe boys, girls club, something like that. We just got to keep forcing the town to move forward. That's what we need.
can you repeat that? I guess I,
What priorities of the current governing body do you believe need to be reconsidered, changed, or focused on during the next 4 years?
no, a whole lot. I think that at least the major projects that have been going on just need to be completed. I think they should be, everything should be reconsidered all the time, just to make sure you're on track. But all in all, what these guys are doing, moving forward, trying to expand the town, grow. It's the way it should be going, I think.
Mr. Stetler, how can better communication between citizens and the governing body be accomplished? And what role do you believe council persons should serve in communication with the citizens?
I really don't know what could be done to improve communications. Zoom meetings, YouTube meetings, open doors, mayoral letter. And today's technology, if you don't know what's going on, I don't know what to tell you, really. I think it's very important what people think. And I think people should come forward, and everyone on the governing body should always have an attentive ear to the community on those concerns. But I don't know what to do to make it better. It's come a long ways in the last 3 years.
Rebut?
No.
Question number 5. Tammy, what do you believe your single greatest strength that you bring to the Shoshoni Town Council is?
That I really want to see this town grow, and I'll do what it takes to help these guys make it grow. I will do the footwork. I will talk to the people. If I have to go against the mayor, I will do that. I will actually work with the mayor to do that. I want to see this town grow. I have a grandson I want to grow up in this town and want to come back to.
I have a question just to clarify. So you want to see the town grow no matter what. Would that include subdividing and parceling out beautiful lakeside lots around Boyson
No,
for the people who come in here to build big homes? And
I'm talking about the 40 acres that we have outside of
Okay.
town,
all right,
not the lakeside. That to me is state park, and it needs to stay state park.
okay.
Rebuttal?
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Sure. What do you believe your single greatest
yes.
strength that you bring to the Shoshoni Town Council is?
My I have a pretty good problem solving abilities, and ability, it's a two-part: ability to understand what I'm being told, ability to understand what I'm reading, and good problem solving abilities to go with it.
Rebuttal?
Final question. Mr. Stetler, do you support the direction of the current governing body for Shoshoni?
For the most part, Yes.
The follow-up to that is, what do you believe needs to be changed or reconsidered?
Well, I did make a complaint that there's no swings in town except for over at Travis Park.
Swings?
Swings for kids, yeah. What kind of a plaza don't have swings for kids, really? I think we're doing pretty good. Like I said, it seems like the whole westward expansion isn't quite going the way I'd envisioned, but maybe that's how it's just gonna go. And some of the stuff, unless you're involved, you just don't get it. And I haven't come down here and spent the hours and asked them to explain to me, but I also think that the executive session needs to be moved to the end of the meeting unless it absolutely has to be towards the beginning. I think it's just plain rude to have it at the beginning. People come down here, spend their evenings, and then they open, all right, 45-minute executive session. And it makes a lot of people mad. I'd like to see that changed. If there's any way to bring a little bit more respect amongst differing opinions, that needs to be worked on.
Would you be willing to bring forth a resolution to change that?
Yeah, I don't know how yet. I've been working on that. I worked on self-growth on conflict resolution. So as far as maybe I can help others with that as well. I haven't really gotten into it with anybody in a long time.
Rebuttal?
No, I'm good.
Very good. Well, thank you so
You
much.
each have
both of you.
a minute and a half to close, if you'd like.
My name is Tammy Hardkey and I'm going for re-election. I've been a council member for 10 months and I have enjoyed working with moving the town forward. I would like to keep helping with this process. Would like to work with the citizens of Shoshoni on their ideas or complaints. I would appreciate your support.
Jacob Z. Stetler, and I just wanted to offer my services to the community again. I felt like I did quite a few good things for the community back a couple of years ago. I feel like there's some unfinished projects. There's some small differences that I think need to be changed. I think if Joel's reelected, somebody needs to do a better job questioning him. I thought I did a pretty good job of that, and I feel like I should continue to do that. If he's reelected, that's one thing I'm gonna do. My boys are going to school here. We're working on hopefully building a house one of these days. We're trying to help grow the community on a personal level. So I'm offering my services to do so through the governing body, if be at the will of the voters. So thank you.
All right. Thank both of you for your time and considerations to be citizen entities to help course the future for this town.
Appreciate your time coming over this evening.
Questions from the gallery?
Yep, not a question, but a comment. Thank you both for putting names in the hat to support our governing body and helping make decisions on what's best for the future.
Having spent over 20 years on the town council here in Shoshoni over the last 30 or 40 years, I would like to point out that this administration has probably been one of the most open, honest, and giving administrations that I've ever witnessed. There's nothing been hid. Been more than open to everyone that wants to look and talk to and ask about anything. There's been more time spent by the mayor than any other mayor that I've ever worked with or seen work in this town. Granted, there's been some bumps and pick out some pretty petty things if you want to, but town's not progressed in this manner for the last 20 or 30 years that I've been involved or I've served. and he's got a team that works with him. That's why. They're very good.
Thank you.
Any thoughts on that, candidates?
Bill had his hand
I
up.
think it's important to work with whoever's elected. I mean, whoever you gotta work with them. There's no other choice. It's either stop everything or work with whoever's there.
Just one thing for Jake. Typically, if we have the executive session first thing, it's important that for some reason that the governing body feels it needs to be the first thing.
Well, nobody's busting your chops about that,
Yeah.
and that's where I'd fit in.
Yeah, and you do a very good job of asking questions. Thank you.
Very good. Any
Thank you.
thoughts?
No,
Thank you both for your time and for putting your names in.
thank you.